question number 1 on this review. We've got two quadratic expressions that are equal to each other. So our first step is going to take b plus 1 squared, and we have to FOIL it out. B plus 1 squared is b plus 1 times b plus 1. So that's going to give us b squared. B times 1 is 1's v, or just v. 1 times v is plus v, 1v. And then 1 times 1 is 1. On the left-hand side, we are left with v squared plus 2v plus 1. Other side, we will just copy over what we have. 2v squared minus 7v plus 15. Whenever we go to solve a quadratic equation, we get one side equal to 0. All the methods we have of using, pretty much that is it. So we will take the smaller, the v squared, subtract it so that over to the side with the 2v. So we get the 0 over here. So we'll subtract v squared. Got to move all the stuff over, so we're going to subtract 2v, and then we'll subtract 1. So we're doing the opposite of each of these. And the reason we do this is that will give us 0, 0, and 0. What we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So we will subtract v squared, we will subtract 2v, and we will subtract 1. That's going to leave us with v squared, 2 minus 1. Negative 7 minus 2 is going to give us a negative 9v. And 15 minus 1 will give us positive 14. We could solve this by graphing, which we will do next, but we could also solve it by factoring. So we get that 0 equals. Now this plus sign means that they're going to both be the same sign, the two factors, and we're going to add them together. So thinking of two numbers that multiply to 14, 1 times 14, that's great. That gives us 14, but 1 plus 14 is 15, not 9. So we could think of, well, it must be 2 times 7, because 2 times 7 is 14, and 2 plus 7 is 9. So it will factor into v and v. 2 and 7, they have to be the same sign. That's how we get a plus. They're either both positive or both negative. This middle sign tells us they have to both be negative. Because when we add them together, we have to add to negative 9, not positive 9. So these are going to become negative. And if you FOIL it out, you'll see you'll get your v squared. You'll get negative 2v, negative 7v. They combine to be negative 9v. And negative 2 times negative 7 is positive 14. So then we use the product of 0 rule, that two numbers that multiply to give you 0 means one of them has to be 0. So v minus 2 is 0, or v minus 7 equals 0. We add 2 to both sides over here, and we get that v equals 2. On the v minus 7, we add 7 to both sides, and we get that v equals 7. So there are our two answers. And we follow along, separate them with commas. 2, 7. Now, just to verify this, it's always good to do multiple ways. And if you're satisfied, we could go with that. But what we're going to do is we're going to graph this and see what that looks like. Okay, so we're going to go to y equals. We don't have a v, we use the x squared. Use this for the exponent. You could use this key here, minus, arrow down, so I'm down on the line, minus 9x plus 14. I'm going to graph it, but I'm going to do a standard zoom to get the window to fit right. And I see 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's crossing the x-axis. the y value is 0 at these two places, when x is 2 and when x is 7. So we have verified these answers here. We could also go to the table, and we see when x is 2, y is 0. When x is 7, y is 0. So another way to look at it, tie all these things together. All right. Thanks.